about to. So you can start them together. DJ, give me some music. And some lights. Is he in charge of that? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 Canadian National Powerlifting Championships here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland. Give me a round of applause for all the powerlifters. It's time to kickstart some hearts. Platform 1, bars loaded. Platform 2, bars loaded. Here we go.
Good morning. We are back at the 2026 Canadian Powerlifting National Championships here in St. John's, Newfoundland. Day 6, our final day. We've got some exciting flights here. Our first opening flight on Platform 2 is our 105 and 120 juniors. The bar is loaded for Samuel.
We got Tommy on 1, Samuel on 2. Samuel gets 3 white lines.
Samuel's opening lift is good. Riley's up next, attempting 220 for his opener. Our 105 juniors are our first flight on the platform. My name is Mark Magnuson, and I will be doing your live stream commentary this morning. We have 2 flights of approximately 9 and 11 lifters, so it should go fairly quickly. Riley has a lot of experience, a number of meets both at Easterns, Ontario Provincials, and World Juniors.
She went pretty low. Ella went plenty low. And she gets 3 red lights. Bars ready for Ariane.
Good easy opener for Riley.
Ariane is up on 1. 3 white lights.
Jared is up next, 230 kilos, 507 pounds on the bar.
135 kilos, platform 1.
Our 105K juniors. We have had an exciting week of lifting throughout the week, starting back on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, bright and early. We will wrap up today on Platform 2 with our 105K and 120K juniors. We have one more session after this. Jared with 230 on the bar. Let's see what the ref said. Yeah, I thought he might have cut that a little short. 2 of the refs didn't see it as deep enough. He'll get a chance to address that on his second attempt. Nico, also with 230 on the bar. Nico has been to Worlds as well, and Nationals, and he is a New Brunswick lifter. Nico sinks it. Good lift for Nico. Spotters and loaders have been here all week. Some of them have been doing multiple sessions. And if you know anything about powerlifting, this is a lot of work to continue to be on the platform, to change weights, change plates, and protect the lifters during their lifts. So kudos to them all week for the outstanding job that they've done. All of our volunteers, our referees, our score table, our registration desk, and our co-meet directors, Larry Walsh and Jeff Butt, all have done an outstanding job this week to make this a great national event. Robin is up. He is 240 on the bar.
Robin's got 240 kilos on the bar. That's platform 2.
Nice and smooth, and a good lift for Robin as well.
And that's the wheel.
I want to mention our sponsors again today. SBD Canada for all of your powerlifting products, Transparent Labs, all of your nutrition needs, Inner Strength products out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. One of the best companies as far as customer service, making sure you get things on time and taking care of you when you purchase your powerlifting products. Newfoundland Powerlifting Association with our president, Larry Walsh, who's standing right in front of me. The Hotel Sheraton, our host hotel, and Eleco weights and equipment, world-class equipment here on the platform. Benjamin's up next, 250 on the bar, just 15 kilos below his personal best. Benjamin is from Quebec.
Here goes Helen. 150 kilos for Helen. The bar is ready. Arms ready. Benjamin, platform 2. 250 kilos. 150 kilos on 1, 250 kilos on 2. After Benjamin comes Ryan, after Helen comes Haley. And Benjamin from Quebec.
Benjamin with a good opener. Typically in powerlifting, if you're not very familiar with it, you have 9 lifts, 3 squat attempts, 3 bench attempts, 3 deadlift attempts, and the traditional thinking is your opener, which is your first lift in each of the 3 disciplines. You want something that you can generally lift in the gym comfortably to make sure you get on the board. If you do not get a successful attempt on any of the 3 lifts, then you are considered to have bombed out or to have been disqualified from the meet. You cannot then attempt a total score if you do not get at least 1 successful lift in each of the 3 lifts. So most of these lifters are choosing something they're comfortable with on the bar for their openers. Good lift for Ryan. Thomas with 250 on the bar.
3 wide lights on 1, 3 wide lights on 2. All right.
Thomas last competed at Western Canadians out in Nanaimo back in the fall. He is from Alberta.
After Tommy comes Bella. After Thomas comes Chris. Weights on platform 2.
Chris up next, 255 on the bar. Just 5 kilos below his personal best. He's opening with a good number for him. And we are making our way through our 105K Junior first squat attempts.
Three white lights on
This is our last lifter in the
Bars ready for area.
first round of squat attempts, attempting 255. Up and down very comfortably. And a good lift.
Three white lights. Here comes Samuel Tremblay.
Back up to our second round of squats. Samuel at 225.
That's three white lights on one. Here comes Maud. Bars ready for Maud from Quebec. Bars ready for...
Samuel might be timing out. We're not quite sure. I know we put in a very light opener, so it might have been simply to make sure he had something on the board. And sometimes that would be due to an injury, but in this case, at the start of the flight, I'm not sure that's the case. He might also be looking to attempt a very big bench or deadlift and simply wanted to put in a squat placeholder. So it does appear Samuel is timing out.
And the bar's ready from Camille. She hails Camille Planet hails from Quebec.
And he has timed out. We will move on.
Come on, Camille.
Our next lifter is
Looks all right.
Riley. Riley's jumped up 12.5 kilos for his second attempt. 232.5 kilos on the bar. Just 7.5 kilos below his personal best.
After that, Jared's up, then Nico, platform 2. Bar's ready for Ariel.
Another nice up and down for Riley and a good lift. For many of these junior lifters, this might be their first nationals, so there might be a little bit of nerves. Others have been here on a couple of occasions and have been to Worlds potentially. And one of the reasons lifters come to nationals is, first of all, it's a great honor to make it from a regional or a provincial event to qualify, but also there are people looking to get to the World Juniors from this event. Jared's up next, 240 on the bar. Let's see if he gets this one. He missed his first on depth. Let's see how he did here. He gets it 2-1. Still not quite deep enough on the right side. And that could be a little bit of nerves.
Yes, I was on the table.
Nico with 245 on the bar. And we are already into PR territory. This is a small 2.5 kilo PR for Nico.
No lift for Haley.
Nico is a New Brunswick lifter.
Bar's ready for Hell on 1.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yes. Okay, so just float for now.
Good lift for Nico. Steven from Quebec, 255 on the bar. We are moving along quickly. Our spotters and loaders are doing an outstanding job of keeping the platform moving. Good lift for Stephen. When you watch powerlifting, again, if you're not familiar, for those of you that are involved in the sport, you know this. I'm just repeating myself for you, but for those who don't know powerlifting and aren't quite familiar with everything, we have what are called comp racks on the platform, competition racks on the platform. They're a unique competition rack that involves both squat and bench press. So there are two sets of safeties. That currently we are using the squat safeties. And once we get into the bench press, we will use the bench press safeties, which are lower and which are adjustable for bench depth for our lifters. They are also set up so that the weights can be easily changed. And if you watch for a moment, you'll see that. Thomas with a good grind. Let's see how he does. Yeah, 2-1. Good lift for Thomas. The center ref thought maybe he didn't quite get there in depth, but both side judges did. And as you see the rack being changed and the weights being changed, it allows our spotters and lifters to make quick changes. Unlike at a gym, commercial gym, where you might work out at a commercial gym, you have to load and unload the plates in a different manner. This allows the heights to be changed very quickly and the plates to be changed very quickly. Robin with 260 on the bar, just shy of his personal best.
White out, green black on, racks 9.
That's 3 white lights, 2 white lights for
Robin's also another Quebec lifter. And a good lift.
3 white lights for Robin. Bars ready for Ariane.
Ryan
150 kilos.
jumping up to 262.5 for his second. It's a 5 kilo PR for him. He gets this.
Bars ready, 260
And it's a 12.5 kilo jump. When we get into the bigger weight classes, which we're into right now with the 105s and the 120s, you will see bigger weight jumps between attempts. Good lift for Ryan.
3 white lights on 2. Here comes Benjamin on 2.
Benjamin, another one of our Quebec lifters. The junior program in Quebec is very strong. Number of lifters here from Quebec in the different junior age or weight classes. Benjamin attempting 265. This would match his best.
Three white lights, platform 1. Here comes Ariel, then Camille, and Haley on 1. Two lifters left to change your openers. Platform 1, 2 lifters left to change your openers. Did you get that down?
Appears to be a good lift for Benjamin. It is. And our last of our second attempts here by our 105 juniors. Chris with 272.5 on the bar, a 12.5 kilo personal best if he gets this, and a 17.5 kilo jump from his opener. We talk often about the different kind of magic numbers people are trying to hit in terms of personal bests, and in this case, this is an even 600 pounds on the bar.
I was ready for Camille. No more changes. One lifter left to change your openers.
Chris is getting fired up.
Chris Henderson, an even 600 pounds. Nice.
Looks like a good lift for Chris. It is. He's got his second in. He's happy about that. Back to the top of the order. Third and final squat attempts. Riley with 245. He's jumping 12.5 kilos. And it's a 5 kilo personal best for him if he gets this. You're moving along very quickly with just 9 lifters in this flight. We have Gino on the microphone doing platform callouts. Gino is internationally known throughout powerlifting. And it's been great to have him here for most of the week. Riley with 245. And he's got it. You'll often see as the lifters are coming up out of the squat, if they're confident they know they're going to complete the squat, you might see a little grin or a smile on their face.
The bar is ready. Here comes Jared's lift.
Jared with 247.5. And this would match his personal best.
Come on, Paige. Come on! Yellow off. Blue black on. Rack 11.
Jared missed his opener on depth. He got his second, 2-1. Let's see how he does on 247.5. Appears to be good enough on depth. Let's see what the judges think, or referees, excuse me. Yes, 3 white lights for Jared. I think he's gotten past the nerves. I think it might have been nerves on the first attempt because he sunk that even a little deeper than the first 2. Nico up with 255, 10 kilo jump for him and a 12.5 kilo PR.
Bars ready on 2.
Again, for those of you that aren't familiar to powerlifting, and I try to remember this whenever I do live streaming because I know we have family and friends that are very supportive of their athletes, but may not be really that in tune with the sport as far as the ins and outs and the intricacies. When you are watching powerlifting, you will see plates that are colored in a variety of colors, and there's a purpose in that. Nico with 255. Good lift for Nico. Those colors help the spotters and loaders in terms of changing plates. They also represent weight differences. So the largest weight is 25 kilos, which are the reds. And of course, in powerlifting circles, the more reds you can put on the bar, the better, obviously. 25 kilos are the reds, 20 kilos are the blues, 15 kilos for the yellows, 10 kilos for the greens, 5 kilos for the whites, 2.5 kilos for the blacks, and after that you have silver kilos of 1.25, and below that you have silver plates that are used strictly for records. And the reason I say that is because powerlifting goes up in 2.5 kilo increments. So anything below 1.25 on either side of the bar, below that is attempting a record. And so you will always see increments of 2.5, and if you do not see increments of 2.5, it is some type of record. And at the nationals, that must be a national record for that to be attempted. Now, lifters can make or successfully provincial records here at nationals, but they cannot do it in anything less than 2.5 increments. We're waiting on Thomas. I believe Thomas timed out. 4 more lifters on our third squat attempts on platform 2, our 105K juniors. Stephen with 265 on the bar, a 10-kilo jump for
Loaded
him.
on one, loaded on two. Steven on two, Lola on one.
So when you're watching the platform, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but the spotters and loaders will call out the changes in weights as they move from lifter to lifter.
265 kilos. After Steven comes Ryan, then Robert, then Benjamin. Come on, Lola. Oh, is she all right? Yes, she's good. Give the spotters and loaders a round of applause on platform one.
Stephen with a good third attempt at 265. Ryan with his third at 272.5. 10-kilo increase from his second and a 15-kilo PR for him. This is an even 600 pounds.
On two. Bars ready on two, bars ready on one. Caitlin on one. Ryan
An even
on
600
two.
pounds on the bar for Ryan.
Easy opener for Caitlin. 3 watts. Here comes Lily and Kayla. Bars ready for Lily.
Not quite there.
27.5 kilos. And that was Ryan.
No lift for Ryan. We move on to Robin, attempting 275. And what you'll see here with 275 is you will see 5 reds on either side of the bar. That's a visual thing that some people like to think about when they're attempting personal bests or when they're doing their lifting in the gym. Robin with 275, 606 on the bar.
No lift. Lily did not stop Lola. Here comes Kayla and Bianca and Emery. Marty on platform one.
Good lift for Robin.
Realize on platform two. Benjamin, 277.5 kilos. Bar is ready on two. Then we have Chris.
Benjamin coming out with 277.5, 12.5 kilo jump and a 12.5 kilo personal best as well for his third and final squat. He was successful on his first 2.
Bar's ready, Bianca.
And it looks to be a good lift. It is. Good lift for Benjamin. And our final squatter of the 105 juniors. Third attempt, Chris with 282.5 on the bar. This is 22.5 kilos over his personal best, so he's clearly had a very good training cycle leading into this meet. And you will see that with the younger lifters, especially ones that are new to lifting. Typically, new lifters to powerlifting will make significant gains during their first few years. And then as the gains increase, then you will see those gains diminish in size. It's not that you can't make significant gains when you get older, but it certainly is less likely, especially the more years you put into the sport. It becomes harder and harder to continue to increase your total. And a good third lift for Chris. Chris goes 3 for 3. And after our first round of squats for our 105 juniors,
Let's go to Amy Richardson, platform 1.
We have our second flight coming up. We have some 105s in this flight. So it's a mix of 105s and 120s. Our 105 class much larger than our 120 class of juniors. Ethan opening up with 245 kilos on the bar.
I've got this, you can't really start on that right now, but it'll take 2 seconds. Okay, I'll just like
Same way to rack 9.
No lead, no one.
Ethan with a very quick opener. Good lift. Malik is starting at 250 kilos.
Bars ready on 1 for Lola. Bars ready for Malik. No wrapping on the platform.
We are waiting on Malik.
All right, that's
There he is.
Lola. That's two lifts. She's got 1 in the hopper.
As you can tell, another advantage of our competition
Bars ready, Leah Shore.
platforms is that we can adjust the height for the various lifters very quickly. In this case, Malik being a very tall 105, or excuse me, 120, with a good lift for his opener. Ty at 262.5 for his opener.
And Wang and Ethan.
Just making sure we're getting the bar set up for Ty.
Black off, white and silver, racks 8.
Nice layup.
Bars ready for Lily May. Platform 1.
Caitlin, then Kayla.
Ty with his opener. Nice and deep.
That's tied. 3 boys.
Good opener for Ty.
Here comes Yumi.
Yumi with 267.5 on the bar.
White, black, silver, racks 11.
Rewind lines for Lily. Kaden, 142.5 kilos. The bar is ready. Then comes Kayla, then Bianca. Caitlin Hills from Alberta, I believe.
One of our meet directors is joining the live stream on platform 1 for a few minutes.
Ethan, then Kaden, then Nathan. Next 3.
Ethan up next with 270 for his opener. Ethan's one of our 120 juniors. He has been to the Commonwealths and the NAPF North Americans in the past, and has been to a couple of nationals. I believe this is his last year as a junior. Ethan is from Ontario.
177.5 kilos.
A little bit of pause on the way up. Maybe a little bit of a misgroove. Still, 3 white lights, good lift.
3 white lights on 2. Haley gets the rack and Bailey gets
Caden up next with 275 on the bar. Caden with lots of experience,
bars ready for Kaden.
also from Ontario.
Bars ready for
Caden's one of our 105 lifters in this flight. Caden with a good lift. Nathan opening up at 280.
All right, Anne-Marie on 1, Nathan on 2. Bars ready for Nathan.
Our audience is beginning to fill up. Generally, we get a lighter audience first thing in the morning, and then it tends to fill up as the day goes on. We've had some overflow crowds the last few nights, standing room only, which is great to see. I know our athletes appreciate it. In some cases, it's new to them. They're not used to lifting in front of a big audience. It can cause a little bit of nerves, but I'm sure they appreciate the support. Nathan with 280, good lift. Danielle from Ontario as well, 280.
Bars ready, 280 kilos on the bar on 2.
Daniel's one of our 120 lifters. It appears he might have done a few meets in the United States recently. Maybe he's moved to Canada. Appears to be a good opener for Daniel, and it is.
Ready for Tate. And Carson. And Lola has 3 white lights. Leah Shore. Bars ready for Leah.
What? Rack. Same weight, rack 14. Same weight, 14.
3 lights on 2.
Load it.
Bars ready on 2. Three white lights for Leah. Here comes Lily. Carson Taylor coming up on 2. Bars ready for Lily on 1.
35 seconds.
Bars ready for Caitlin. 150 kilos. Then Caitlin and Emery. Here comes Holroyd. 290 kilos platform. 2. Then Ethan. Kayla, that was 3 whites. Kayla, overtime. 182 and a half.
Under 4 reds and a blue, rack 13. 4 reds and a blue.
3 wide lights. The whole right. Here goes Ethan. On 2. Bars ready on 1 for Kayla.
Loaded.
Bars loaded for Ethan.
Squat. Okay. Right. Out of block 16. Out of block 15.
Bars ready, Amber.
Loaded.
It's loaded for Malik on 2.
Big Joe, make it clean. Make it clean. There you go.
Squat.
The bars ready for Bianca. 187 and a half kilos. Exactly 2 and a half times her body weight. Exactly 2 and a half times her body weight, Ron. Here comes Ty Humphrey.
Loaded.
Bars ready for Ty, platform 2. Then Ethan, then Yumi.
Hard. Remember, so in the moment, deep breath. There, that's how you do it. Got plenty time. There you go, Ty.
No more changes. Rufus in the next flight, no more changes to your openings. Platform 1.
Steady. One.
Squat.
Low body. Tight.
Charlotte,
Yep. Oh.
then Elinka, and Madison. Bars ready for Charlotte, 130 kilos, platform 1. 3 white lights on 2. Ethan coming up. Then Yumi, then Nathan.
Loaded.
Bars ready for Ethan. Three white lights for Charlotte. Here comes Elinka.
Lock it up, coach. Right turn.
Squat.
Bars ready on 1.
Yep.
Rack.
No lift on 2. Here comes Yumi, then Nathan.
White, silver, racks stay the same. White, silver, racks stay the same. Loaded.
Ready on 2.
Go get it.
3 what? No. She did not squat low enough. Platform 1.
Rack. White off, green on, 14.
coached by Jillian Sproul. Liz is good on 2. Here comes Caden Oliver, bars ready. No lift on 1. Bars ready for Amelia.
Knees. Let's go, Kate. Let's go. Got fine. 10 seconds. 5. Lock the knees. Lock the knees. Squat.
3 white lights for Amelia.
No changes. Hypocollar.
And 2 white lights for Caden. Bars ready. Ready on 2. Here comes Rianne. Then Alexis, then Anjali.
Take your time, Daniel. Nice and easy. Small steps. Let's go, Domingo. You got this, boss. Come on. Take your time. Let it settle. Now look at the small step. Let it settle. Small step. Let it settle. Good. What? Tight. 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 Push it. Push it. Wait. Rack. Good. Perfect. Out of silver 18. Out of silver 18.
Bars ready on 1. 3 white lights on 2. Here comes Alexis Seaman on 1. Labrador Chargé, platform 1. Up next, Anjali. Bars ready for take Commandeur. Labrador Chargé. Platform 2.
Go. Come on, Tate.
Three white lights on platform 1. Bars ready on 1.
What? Up. Oh, easy. Rack. Green off, yellow on, 14.
3 white lights. Platform 2. Okay, here comes Carson Taylor. Platform 2.
Loaded.
Bars ready for Carson. The bars ready for Trinity. 180 kilo opener for Trinity. Then Alexa.
There you go. Nice, Carson. Squat.
Trinity gets
There you go. Rack.
3 lights. All right, 182.5 kilos for Alexa. Lift is 3 white lights on platform 2. For Carson, here comes Holroyd. 290 kilos on 2. Bars ready for Alexa on platform 1.
Loaded.
Bars ready for Holroyd. 2-1. 2 whites.
Rack.
And platform 2 is Nolan. Bars ready for Charlotte. 142.5 kilos. That's platform 1. Bars ready on 2 for Ethan. Then we have Ethan Ackerman, then Malik.
Twice.
2 white lights for Charlotte. Here comes Malik.
Rack.
277.5 kilos for Ethan, 3 whites. Bar ready on 1. Here comes Ethan Ackerman on 2, 277.5. Bars ready on 2. Up next, Malik the tie. Two white lights, platform 1. Here comes Megan, then Madison, platform 1. The bar's ready for Megan. Three white lights for Megan. Madison coming up on 1. is coming up on one. 187 and a half kilos. The bar is
Lock in! Rack!
ready.
Green off, yellow on. Rack seems the same.
3 white lights are gated. Here comes Nathan, then Tate. That's on platform 2.
Load it!
The bar's ready for Nathan.
Oh, wait, attack! Come on! Let's go!
Go.
Yeah! Hold it! Same weight, rack 11.
3 whites. And Jolie, then Alexa. 187 and a half kilos, platform 1. The bar is loaded.
Watch out, this off!
Squat. Hold. Rack. Same weight, 18.
And that's 3 white lights for Nathan. Here comes Tate. Commander. 305 kilos.
Loaded.
Bar's ready.
Point out, 3 on, rack 15.
3 lights, platform 1. How about Alexa? Here comes Tate.
Go, Jay!
Bar's ready on platform 1, Alexa. 429.9 pounds. Coaching by Jeff Butt.
Go strong! Easy way, let's go!
Squat. Rack.
3 white, no lift.
Out of block.
She did not lock at her knees and she did not squat low enough.
Loaded.
Bar's ready on 1, bar's ready on 2. 310 Q, bar's ready on 1. Charlotte, 150 kilos. 310 kilos on 2. Then Haleroy, then Kate Carson.
Nice and tight. Let it settle. 1 step. Let it settle. Good. Good. Lock it in. Come on. Squat. Tight, 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 tight. Push it, push it, push it. Wait. Rack.
Green off, yellow on, rack 6.
Same weight, 15. Same weight, 15.
3 whites on 1, 3 whites on 2. Here comes Haleroy.
Loaded.
Bar's ready on 2, 310 kilos. Bar's ready on 1, 342 pounds.
Squat. Rack.
No lift on 2.
Yellow off, blue on, 14. Yellow off, blue on, 14.
No lift. She did not squat low enough on 1. Bar's ready on 2. Carson Taylor.
Lock it in. Here we go. Come on.
Go, Carson!
Bar's ready for Rhiann, then Madison, then Megan. Platform 1. Carson, 180. And Carson gets the rack. 3 white lights for Carson. 10 minutes on the clock, and then we start the bench. 5.2, don't go away.
Go away now.
The bar's ready for Madison. 180 kilos. Then Megan, then Trinity. UI lights. The bar's ready for Megan. Coaching by Jillian from PEI. Way to go, Megan! 3 lights. The bar's ready for Trinity.
Ready for this?
No lift. She didn't squat low enough, and maybe she didn't lock her knee up and down on the bar. Bar is ready, and Jolie. 195 on the bar. Then Alexis. Mr. Lift is good.
I never saw you.
Bars ready for Alexis. 197 and a half kilos. Give her a round of applause. Let me hear you, Quebec.
They said you had a screw loose. I didn't know they. I just assumed the other.
And that's 3 white lights. 10 minutes on the clock, then we start the bench. Don't go away now.
They're all a little bit loose. A couple were really bad.
No more changes. Lifters on platform 1. Platform 2. First flight. No more changes to your openers. Hey, Larry. with Ryan.
We are back on platform 2, session 1 here with our 105 juniors. Ryan is opening up with 120 kilos.
Ryan Lancaster, 120 kilos. 6 minutes, 3 minutes to change your ropers. Platform 1, first flight. 3 minutes to change your ropers.
Good opener for Ryan.
And that was
Next up is a little delay on our graphic here. Next up is, I believe, Steven. There we go, Steven at 140K with his opener. Solid opener for Steven.
3 white lights for Ryan and 3 white lights.
We're into the bench press portion of our flight here. Our 105 juniors. We are on platform 2, flight 1. We have 2 flights this morning. Our 105s and then a mix of 105s and 120s, all juniors. Chris opening at 142 and a half.
Chris Henderson with 142.5 kilos. After that comes Jared Smith and Bob O'Reilly.
Chris went 3 for 3 on squats. Very light, soft touch on the chest and a good lift. 2-1, although one of the refs must have seen possibly a missed command or a butt lift. Still a good lift. Jared's up next at 145. Our 105s are getting their opening bench press in. Talking about Canadian powerlifting and about the international teams that go out to the different international events. There's been a slight rule change this year. A lot of the lifters know about it, but I'm sure a lot of the public does not. You must come to nationals and hit a Canadian qualifying total in order to go or make a Team Canada event as a member of Team Canada. So it used to be that you could make that total in the previous, I believe, year, possibly 2 years. But now you must hit the qualifying total at the team or at Canadian Nationals. And Team Canada members are picked based on totals compiled at this event. Riley's up next with 150. Riley went 3 for 3 on squats. Riley's got lots of experience at Eastern Regionals, at the World Juniors, and at Western Canadians. You'll notice the chalk on Riley's back. The reason the powerlifters do that is to grip the bench with their shoulders and their upper back in order to create a brace and create tension. Allows them to grip the bench with their back better. Nice opener for Riley. And Benjamin is up next at 160 kilos for his opener. A good opener for Benjamin. Thomas with 160 on the bar for his opener. First bench press attempt.
160 kilos. Here you go, one. Bars ready for Tanya, 67.5 kilos.
Thomas checking to make sure the weight is equal on both sides of the bar. That is a thing in the sense that some people do it, I think, as a superstition, and other people do it more just to double check and make sure that there isn't any misload. Our loaders have been excellent all week. So I think it's more just reassuring the lifter than anything else. Good lift for Thomas.
3 white lights on 1, 3 white lights on 2. Mullet on 1, Samuel on 2.
Samuel up next, also at 160.
Bars ready for Samuel. 160 kilos. Bars ready for Noah, 77.5 kilos. And every element is
160 on the bar for Samuel. Samuel put in a token squat. His opener. My guess is there might be potentially a leg injury or some leg issues that didn't allow him to fully squat today, but he has a successful opener on his bench press. Robin at 170.
Bars ready on 2, Robin. 170 kilos. Bars ready on 1. 80 kilos for Ariel. Then Paige, then Ella. Here comes Sir Robin.
Robin, another Quebec lifter.
Platform 2.
Quebec has a number of junior lifters at the meet this week.
Same weight, 65.
Nice opener. Nico opening up over 400 pounds at 187.5. Nico opening up with a New Brunswick record. This would be 5 kilos, over the New Brunswick record. 187.5 for his opener, 413 pounds.
Paige Gilson, Ontario. Bars ready on 2. Paige got 80 kilos on the bar for her opener. Then Ella, then Haley. You got this, Nico.
Nico went 3 for 3 on squats.
Kilos, wow. Opening bench for Nico.
And silver, 85.
3 white lights for Paige. Ella coming up next. And Nico gets
2-1, a good opener for Nico. The center Referee maybe felt he didn't touch or elbow depth. We're not sure which, but a good lift nonetheless. Ryan, we're already into second attempts here. Ryan with 130 on the bar, 10-kilo jump for him. This would match his personal best. One of the spotters is just cleaning up the bar a bit.
Bars ready on 1, bars ready on 2. Here goes Haley Hunt. Nice job, 82.5 kilos, Haley, 2 leg nice. Here comes Helen and Ariane and Camille. Bars ready on 1, 3.
Good lift for Ryan on his second. Chris is up at 150. If you are interested in powerlifting or you've watched a little bit and you think, well, I'd like to learn more, I would recommend the best thing to do is find a local meet and go and watch. Get a hold of your local provincial association. Ask them questions. They're more than happy to let you know anything you want to know about powerlifting. Powerlifting has grown tremendously, I would say, probably in the past 10, 12 years. I think social media has helped that a lot. I also believe the change from strictly equipped lifting to both classic and equipped lifting has also helped a lot of younger individuals enter the sport. Classic lifting is probably much closer to what you would see in a commercial gym as far as people training. So it in some cases may be more familiar with lifters as far as what they're watching. Chris with a good lift. Stephen also taking 150 on the bar. This is a 10-kilo jump for him. Stephen was 3 for 3 on squats.
Steven. Then Jefferson and Riley. Bars ready for Camille. 232 pounds.
Stephen with a comfortable second attempt. Good lift. Jared attempting 155.
Tanya, 72.5 kilos. Here's Jared's lift. Bars ready on 1 for Tanya.
As we watch Jared on the bench press at 155, one of the new rules that's been changed slightly in the IPF as far as bench pressing is the what we call heaving, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Jared with what looks like a good second lift for him. 3 white lights. So in the IPF, there are 3 bench commands. You must take the bar off of the safeties and hold it in an elbow locked out position at the top above your head, and you will be given the start command. At that point, you will lower the bar to your chest, and it must be still on your chest, and then you will be given the press command. You will press the bar back up to an elbow locked out position above your head again, and then you'll be given the rack command, which is to put the bar back into the safeties. What happens is that as the weights get heavier, some lifters will use or allow the bar to sink into their chest on the bottom, and then on the press command, will use their momentum of throwing their chest upward and forward, along with their arm strength, shoulder strength, to move the bar back up to the lockout position. The heaving part of that, or what we call heaving, is that thrusting or throwing the chest up and out to get the bar initiated off the chest. That is no longer allowed. Now, it's a very fine line as to whether or not there's heaving taking place or whether or not the person is simply allowing the bar to sink into their chest and then pressing it off their chest. So it's a difficult call for the referees, but it is a new rule in the IPF, and we've been watching this week to see whether or not that's going to happen. It has been called a few times, so we'll see how that goes moving forward. Kind of like the elbow rule a couple of years ago with elbow depth. There was an issue with people having very large arches when they benched, that their elbows were not having to go below their shoulders. And that rule was changed, so now the bottom of the elbow must at least dip below the top of the shoulder. And that took a little bit for some lifters to figure out, but it seems to be getting cleaned up. It still gets called occasionally, but people seem to have figured out the rule, and I'm pretty sure the heaving rule will also sort out for people as well. Thomas with 170 on the bar. And that's your explanation from someone who is a reasonably experienced lifter, but I am definitely not a reasonably experienced referee. So take that for what you will. Maybe a referee could give you a better explanation. But that is the gist of it. Thomas, 2 white lights at 170. Good lift for Thomas. Samuel at 170, a 10-kilo jump for him, for his second. This will match Samuel's PR for bench. Now, 2-1, no lift. Both of the side referees felt maybe there was butt lift. I'm guessing that's what it was, given it was both referees, and I did not see any up or down motion, and I did not see any heaving. Robin with 182.5 on the bar. We're now just slightly over 400 pounds. It's a 12.5 kilo jump for him for his second. Robin was successful on his opener. Solid, steady. 3 white lights for Robin on his second. And Nico jumping 10 kilos. Nico wants to add to his New Brunswick record that he set on his first attempt. 10 kilos, 197.5 on the bar. Almost 200 kilos. And he is our last bench presser for our second attempts. Then we will go to the top of the order for thirds. This would keep Nico in second place after bench press. The placements are starting to sort out a little bit now that we have 6 lifts in for all of our lifters. Our 105 juniors, Robin in first, Nico in second, and Benjamin in third.
Here comes Camille. She's from this planet. Bars ready for Camille.
Ryan with 132 and a half.
242 pound female raw bench. 110 kilos with Camille. Wow. Bars ready for Ryan.
Ryan looking at 132.5. A 2.5 kilo PR for him.
This girl can bench 66 kilo lifter with 110 kilos. 1.7 times her body weight. Oh, she's got more to thank too.
Silver on, rack 85.
Little hesitation in the middle. We'll have to see what the referees say. And they all felt that the bar sunk a little bit in the middle. No lift. Chris with 155. A 5 kilo jump for him.
Ready for Chris Henderson.
Not quite clear where Chris has lifted before. It appears he's lifted a couple of times in the U.S., possibly, in the past.
Ariel, bars ready. Come on, Ariel. Oh, yeah.
Good lift for Chris. 3 white lights. The scoring for powerlifting is based on a 3-referee system. Each of the referees can give a white light for a good lift, or if you get a red light, there are a variety of reasons why you would get a red light, which is a no lift. And so, without going into a ton of detail, on squats, it can often be for depth, it can be for up and down, it can be for missing rack commands, and a variety of other things. It can be for you must have your head, your shoulders, and your butt on the bench at all times, and your feet must be flat. Your feet can slide, but they cannot lift.
4 lifters left to change your openers. Platform 1, 4 lifters left to change.
So a variety of different ways to have a no lift. Green is a good lift, or white is a good lift. I'm a little colorblind, it looks green to me. And red. A variety of different reasons why it can be a no lift, and those are singled out by either a red red, a red yellow, or a red blue. And those distinguish the various reasons why a no lift would occur. You must get 2 out of 3 white lights. 3 obviously is good, 2 is good enough. If you get 2 to 1 reds, the coach or the lifter can challenge the decision to the jury. We have three-person juries throughout the week here at our championships, and those juries then will discuss and make a final decision. Jared with 157 and a half.
Lights on 1, and no lift on 2.
No lift. Riley up next at 165.
90 kilos, 541.
This is a 7.5 kilo PR for Riley. He passed his PR on his second, and this would be a bigger jump here on his third.
30 for Riley. Platform 2, and Benjamin is
When you have a championship as large as ours has been this week, you will have multiple days, you will have multiple sessions. So we started Monday, and we have done 3 sessions most days. We went 2 sessions on Thursday, and we will do 2 sessions on Saturday, because Saturday evening the meet is wrapped up with an awards banquet at the end. But when you have a meet this large with over 800 lifters, you have multiple sessions and flights. So typically 3 flights a day, starting at 8 o'clock, then again around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then again around 5 o'clock. So kudos to all of the volunteers who make this happen. Without them, this could not take place. Without our sponsors, this could not take place. It's been a great week of lifting. We are wrapping up today with our final day. Here's session 1 this morning and session 2 this afternoon. Benjamin with 167.5 kilos on the bar. His third and final attempt. I think he's got it. Look, oh, 2-1, he did get it. Possibly not a lockout on the left side, but a good lift. For those of you not familiar with kilos in terms of weight, we have weight classes for all of our lifters and age classes, which makes things fair in terms of competition. We're currently watching our 105s. Our 105s are 231 pounds and under, all the way down to 205, which is our 93 class. So from 205 to 231 is our 105 weight class for men. Samuel with 172.5. I believe he's going to get this, one arm leg the other, but it didn't go down or backwards. And he got it, 2-1. So sure, the right side, the arm that was lagging, might have looked like it had gone up and down, but the other two refs thought it was good, and it's a good lift. Thomas at 175. 5 kilo jump for him. 3 more lifters in this flight, then we'll move on to flight B, which is a mix of our 105s and 120s.
With 1.7 times her body weight, that's a phenomenal ratio for a female bencher. 248 pounds. Wow. Bar's ready. She's weighing in at
Thomas with 175 on the bar. Sizable PR, 12.5 kilos above his personal best.
Come on, Thomas.
No, not quite. A little too heavy on the day. Robin's up next. 190 or 418 pounds for Robin.
Nice. There you go.
Robin and Nico are our last 2 lifters in this flight. You'll notice some of our lifters will use a handoff and some will not. It's strictly a personal preference.
Here comes Amy Richardson, 60 kilos, bars ready, platform 1. Robin, bars ready, 190 kilos on 2.
Not quite. And Nico attempting 205 kilos, which is 5 kilos above his personal best. It would up his personal record that he set on his first 2 lifts. 450-pound bench press.
And his weight class, 2 times body weight, that's saying something. Right, Ron? Two times his body weight. At his weight class.
No, a little bit too much today. Still, he's got the provincial record. And we will move on to our second flight, our 105 and 120s. Opening with Malik.
Bars ready, Kayla Overchuck.
Malik with 120 on the bar. Our opening lifter in our second flight. Our spotters and loaders are just cleaning up the bar a bit.
Come on, Malik. Bars ready. Leah Shore. 82.5 kilos. All right, you don't go below 4. The clock is ticking, Leah.
Good opener from Malik.
3 white lights on 2.
At the end of our opening session here, platform 2, session 1, there will be awards given out for the 105s and 120 juniors. We will go off the air for a few minutes at that point, but the live stream will continue. You can get the awards results when we come back. And we will update you as we get into our deadlifts for placements and for our top 3. Nathan with 160 on the bar. Good solid opener. Oh, 2-1. Somebody, our referee on the right, saw something, but still a good lift. Yumi with 160 on the bar. Yumi with a solid opener. Daniel at 162.5 for his opener. We also can give you a heads up as to what the scoring is by province. Alberta currently is ahead with the best average score. That scoring is done through what we call GL points. GL points are assigned to lifts. So, for example, if you have a 500 kilo total, that would give you a particular GL score, and so on. Ethan is up next with a 165 opening bench press. Ethan had, unfortunately, some issues during squats. I think he might have tweaked something. We're hoping he's coming out for bench. Ethan is coming out for bench. That's a good sign.
Coaching by Jeff. Well.
Solid opener for Ethan. Whatever happened doesn't seem to affect his bench press. Caden opening at 170. Caden went 3 for 3 on squats. Powerlifting is a sport for everyone. We have a variety of age and weight classes. The age classes are interesting because it's one of the few sports where you can be competitive at age 16 as a sub-junior, all the way up to we have lifters in our late 70s in the Masters 4 category. So the way that works is our sub-juniors are, I believe, 16 up through 19. Our juniors are 19 through 23. Once you turn 23, you are an open lifter from 23 to 39. And at that point, at age 40, you become a Masters 1. At age 50, a Masters 2. And at age 60, a Masters 3. And at 70 are Masters 4 lifters. So it is a sport you can continue throughout your life and be competitive. And that's something that you will not see in most sports. Ethan Smith, 185 kilos in the bar, 407 pounds. This is his opener. Ethan went 3 for 3 on squats. He's explaining the liftoff he wants from our handoff person.
Pretty wide lights from Newfoundland. Here goes Taylor. 87.5 kilos on platform 1. Bars ready.
Good opener for Ethan. And now as we get close to our second bench press attempts here, once we get into our second bench press attempts, we'll start to discuss a little bit about placings and who is on the podium at the time. It's a little early, but we'll give you a quick look. Once we get into deadlifts, we'll spend a little bit more time on letting you know the placings and the movement as coaches and athletes are jockeying for position and putting in different attempts based on what their goals are, whether that's to win, whether it's to get on the podium, or whether it's simply to get a PR. Tate with 190 on the bar for his opener, 418 pounds. Big opener for a 105. Looks like a very clean opener for Tate. This week we have Top Set Media doing all of our media here, including helping us run the live stream and getting both video and photographs for all of the lifters that are available to them at the end of the meet. So thanks go out to Top Set Media for all of their help and for working out some early glitches this week, earlier in the week, as far as some power issues. Everything is run very smoothly. And without the assistance from them, we as live stream announcers could not do our job. Carson with 190 on the bar. Again, 418 pounds. This will push Carson temporarily into first place in the 105 class. Oh, that moved very nicely. And Carson is in first place at the moment. One more lifter in this round. Ty is a 120 lifter, and he is opening at 197.5 for his opener. 6.5 kilos below his personal best.
Here goes Bianca from Alberta.
And this will, I believe, tie him for first place. If he gets this.
Fast for Bianca. And Marie, 232 pounds. Then Caitlin.
Good opener for Ty. And Daniel and Ty are now tied for first place after our opening bench. Second attempt's coming up. Malik jumping 10 kilos to 165. With just 11 lifters in this flight and 9 in our other flight, things are moving along quickly.
Keep the bar the same way for Caitlin. Platform. The bar is ready. And that's Malik with 3 white lights.
Good lift from Malik. Nathan with 167.5.
Nathan, 167.5 kilos. Bar is ready, says Mr. Rickard. Oh, Caitlin. Easy, Caitlin.
Nathan choosing not to use a handoff.
Amy Richardson, 67.5 kilos. Bars ready on 1. Here goes Nathan on 2.
Good solid second for Nathan.
3 white lights for Nathan.
And moving on to Yumi at 170.
170 kilos platform 2.
All of our lifters with solid attempt selection. That's a process that's usually done in conjunction with your coach, if you have one. As we get to this level, most people are being coached by someone, and we also have provincial coaches for a number of the teams, which is a nice thing to have if you do not have a personal coach that can attend with you. Being that we are such a big country, it's often difficult for coaches to make the trip to a nationals if there's a distance involved. And so a number of the teams have provincial coaches. Saskatchewan, in my case, hired a provincial coach this year, which was an immense help to me, seeing as how my coach was busy doing other things, including lifting at this event. So it was nice to have that assistance. Daniel with 172.5 for his second. It's a 10-kilo jump for Daniel. Remember, these are all juniors, so these are all lifters between the ages typically of 18 and 23. Good lift for Daniel. Ethan's making a 7.5-kilo jump to 172.5.
Ready on 2, Ethan, 172.5 kilos.
You'll see that many of the volunteers, and I suppose this is probably not unusual, but almost all of our volunteers are also lifters. I would say probably 75 to 85% of all of our volunteers, regardless of what they're volunteering at, whether it's refereeing, whether it's at the registration table, the scorers table, in the back room helping, obviously loading, and even our live stream announcers. Almost all of us are lifters or have been lifters at one point. It's our way of giving back a little bit to the sport, and it's very much appreciated. Caden is up with 177.5 on the bar. His second attempt. He was good on all 3 squats.
Ready for Lola.
Caden with a very soft touch. Nicely done. We're waiting on the referee's call. Yep, 3 white lights. Dylan is next at 177.5.
Here comes Bianca on 1, then Anne-Marie, then changes. Lucas on platform 2, next platform 1. Next flight.
Good lift for Dylan. Ethan Smith, 192.5. This is only a half kilo below his personal best.
Bars ready for Ethan, 192.5 kilos. Bars ready and we're ready.
So I'm waiting to see what the refs think of that one. Yep. One of the refs possibly thought there was not a lockout, but two thought it was good. Good lift. Tate with 202.5 on the bar. This is a 12.5 kilo jump for him. Significant jump. And would be a small PR for him as well. We are working our way down toward our second attempts here on our second flight.
Caitlin with 110 kilos. Wow. Come on, change.
Attempted 202.5. And I believe he's got that. That'll be a new PR for him. Carson also looking at 202.5.
Here goes Carson and Ty. Bars ready on 2. Bars ready on 1.
Carson choosing not to use a liftoff.
Adam Silver, 3 and 5.
3 1 lights. Bars ready, Madison. 72.5 kilos. That looks a bit Charlotte.
Three white lights for Carson. Tie with our last of our second bench attempts at 207.5. 10 kilo jump for him. This would be a 457-pound bench press in the 120 junior class. Our last attempt for the second round of bench presses here in our second flight. Then we will go back to the top of the order. This is an Ontario record. It will be 3.5 kilos above the current Ontario 120 junior record. If he gets this. Oh yeah. Comfortably. Nicely done by Ty. He now holds the Ontario 120 junior bench press record. Yumi's up next, 172.5 for his third and final bench press.
And that's 3 1 for the second cup Charlotte. Bars ready. Yumi Huang. Bars ready. Charlotte. Then Elika. Then Rihanna. A lift.
Not quite for Yumi on his third. We are getting updates on the provincial scoring race as well. Alberta in the lead, Quebec second, and New Brunswick third at the moment. Malik with 172 and a half. Oh, sorry, little dip on the left. The left arm started to come down on no lift. Nathan at 175 up next. We are moving along quickly here. Once we finish our third bench attempts, we'll take a short 10-minute break, come back with deadlifts. We'll have a better sense of who is in the lead, who is on the podium after our final bench press attempts. Nathan with 175 on the bar. Getting himself locked in. Nice third for Nathan. Let's see what the refs think. We're waiting on a decision by the refs. 2-1, good lift. Caden with his last bench press at 180.
Bars ready, Trinity.
Caden will bump up into third place with this lift. Good lift for Caden for his third. Daniel also at 180 in the 120 class. This is a 7.5 kilo bump for him, and this should keep him in first place. Good strength from Daniel. And a good lift. Ethan with his third attempt at 180. You'll notice a lot of the lifters have what we call wrist wraps around their wrists. There's equipment that is approved by the IPF in terms of assisting the lifters. You are allowed, actually you are only allowed a singlet in classic lifting. You are allowed to use wrist wraps both for squats and bench press. You have the option of flat shoes or elevated shoes for squatting. Of course, you can use them for lifting and deadlift as well. And probably the key piece of equipment is the belt. And IPF approves a certain number of belts for use in competition. And so that's what you will see on the platform. Dylan up next with 182.5 in our 120 kilo class. I think he's got it. He does. Ethan Smith with a 7.5 kilo jump to a 200 kilo bench press. He's a 105 lifter. This is almost 2 times his body weight. This will keep him in 5th place.
Bars ready, Madison. 77.5 kilos.
Waiting for Ethan to come out. He may be timing out and saving his energy for deadlifts. We're not quite sure. Yeah, looks like he might be timing out here. There may be some strategy here involved in saving some of his energy for deadlifts. And moving on. Tate attempting a 2.5 kilo jump to 205.
Bars ready, hanging. 80 kilos on the bar.
Tate's had a great meet so far, going 5 for 5.
Bars ready, Tate, on you.
Tate's currently in 2nd place in the 105 junior category. This will keep him in 2nd place after bench press. Nope, just that extra 2.5 kilos was just a bit too much. 202.5 moved fine. 205 was just a bit too much on the day. Carson taking a 5 kilo jump to 207.5. I believe Carson is our last lifter of this 2nd flight of bench press attempts. We'll see how he does here. Carson is currently in 1st place in our 105 junior category. Carson taking his time, trying to get his shoulders dug into the pad. Oh, I think he's got that. Grinds through the middle a bit, but yeah, a good lift for Carson on his 3rd attempt bench press. Oh, we do have one more lifter. Ty is attempting 211. This is an Ontario and a Canadian record for bench press for a 120 junior. 211, it's a 3.5 kilo jump for Ty. 7 kilo PR for him. So we will finish this 2nd flight on a Canadian national record attempt. You can hear the crowd in the background. 207.5 moved well. He is going to what we call chip the national record by a 0.5 kilo, which you are allowed to do when you are attempting Canadian records at the Nationals. .211 on the bar, 465 pounds. Oh, I think he's got it. There's probably even a little bit more there. A nice lift. National record for Ty. He's excited. We will take a 10-minute break on platform 2, come back with our deadlifts for our 105 juniors, and we will be right back.
Green white lights for Trinity. Here comes Amelia, then Angelie, then Alexis. Bar is ready. Bar. Bar's ready, Angelie. 107 and a half. Ready, lights. Bar's ready. Oh, yeah. 110 kilos. Wow. Bar's ready, Madison. 80 kilos. Three white lights. Lamar's ready for Megan. Then Alexa, then Rianne. Now. 3 minutes to change your openers. Lifters in the first flight, platform 2. 3 minutes to change your openers. No lift. Oh, AJ was hoping for that one. Come on, AJ. Goldberg. Who's next? You smell it. You smell what the rock's cooking. Alexa. Oh yeah, Alexa smokes that one, 92.5 kilos, 3 white lights. Here goes Leanne and Charlotte and Nalinka. Bars ready. Three whites. Bars ready, Charlotte. Three white lights, Bianca, Charlotte. Goes Nalinka. Bars ready on 2. Three whites. Bars ready. Trinity. No more changes. Lynch is on platform 1, first flight. No more changes to your openers. No lift. I believe her butt came off the bench. Amelia, then Angeli, then Alexis. Bars ready. Angeli, 110 kilos. Bars ready. seconds on platform 2. Bars ready. On 1.
Loaded.
Bars ready. Tremblay. Samuel. Platform 2. Come on, Alexis.
Down.
3 white lights on 1. 3 white lights on 2. 10 minutes on the clock.
Loaded.
We are back for our deadlifts for our 105 juniors. Samuel with a successful opener. Robin up with 240K for his first deadlift attempt. We are here at the 2026 CANPL National Powerlifting Championships. Session 1, Platform 2, our 105 juniors. Robin with a good opener.
3 lights for Robin.
Steven up next, opening at 250.
Bars ready for Steven.
Steven with 250 on the bar. Nice opener for him.
3 white lights. Here comes
And we're up to Benjamin. $255 on the bar. Platform 1 is taking a short break, so we can see platform 2 clearly now. Just a reminder that when you have deadlifts, especially at big competitions, the deadlift bar can be cleaned upon request, and during third deadlifts, it is cleaned between each attempt to ensure that the bar is clean for each lifter, particularly on third and final deadlifts. The chalk buildup on the bar is significant as we go through our squat and bench press attempts, and so during deadlifts, a clean bar ensures fairness for everyone. Benjamin with 255 on the bar. Easy opener for him. Jared also taking 255 on the bar.
bars ready for Jared.
Easy opener for Jared. Thomas also taking 255 on the bar.
Bars ready for Thomas.
Just 12 and a half below his personal best for deadlifts. Good opener for Thomas. Nico also taking 255 on the bar. Common theme here.
Bars ready, Nico.
Another solid opener here for our first deadlift attempts. Chris bumping up to 260 for his opener. Spotters and loaders are doing a great job of keeping the bar clean for each of our deadlifters. Chris has had a great day today so far, going 6 for 6. Good opener for Chris. Ryan will also open at 260.
Ryan Lancaster, 260 kilo. Bars ready. Next is Riley. Double overhead hook grip, conventional pull now. And he gets 3 white lights. 270 kilo opener for Riley.
270 opener. Riley also has gone 6 for 6 today. He's had a good day.
No more changes. Richards off platform 1. First flight, no more changes to your openers. Bars ready for Riley. This is good.
Where are our referees?
Samuel up next. 225. It's a 50 kilo jump for him. I'm not sure. Oh, he is coming out. $50 kilo jump for Samuel. Comfortable second for him. Robin jumping 20 kilos to 260 for his second. You'll see some significant jumps now on deadlifts as we get into our midway point of our first flight here of our 105s. We do have some 105s in our second flight, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with them before we can give you any solid indication of where people are going to finish. But we will update you as much as we can at the end of this flight.
Almost 260 kilos for Robin, and he gets 3 white lights. Here comes Stephen and Nico and Benjamin. 4 seconds.
Stephen with 267.5. This is a 17.5 kilo jump for Stephen.
Bars loaded, Tanya, 135 kilos. Bars ready for Stephen.
Robin has increased his third, a couple of kilos to 275. There's already some changes being made by coaches at the scores table. Nico at 270 for his second, 15 kilo jump.
137.5 kilos on one. There again is a sumo puller making efficient use of those quads. Here comes Nico. 3 white lights on a man on platform 1. Was ready on 1.
A little bit of work getting it off the floor, but typically in sumo, that's the issue, is getting it off the floor, beginning that stance into your sumo stance. Once you break the floor, often you'll see people be successful, whereas in conventional lifting, there are more places along the path to a full lockout that can kind of stop or halt the lifter. With sumo, it's typically breaking the bar off the floor and then the lockout at the top. Benjamin with 272.5 on the bar. Successful lift.
Bars ready. Tires on 2. Bars loaded for Keel on 1.
Jared up next at 275. Easy second pull for Jared. 600 pounds. No problem for him. Ryan jumping 15 kilos to 275.
Bars ready, Ryan Lancaster, 275.
Ryan might be timing out here. We're not quite sure. Looks like he is.
3 white lights for Ella.
Benjamin's increased his third from 285 to 287. So as I pointed out earlier, we're getting into second deadlifts here. People are jockeying for position, depending on what they think they can achieve on the podium. And we will see more of that as we move into our third deadlifts as well. Ryan timing out at 275 here in just a moment.
Ellen, 175 kilos on one.
And Ryan has timed out. Our next lifter is Thomas at 275.
Ready for Thomas.
Samuel has increased his third deadlift from 275 to 277 and a half.
Come on, Thomas.
Thomas should get this. Oh, not quite. Thomas had it. It was going up, and he just lost his grip at the top. Chris Henderson is next with 280. It's a 20-kilo jump for him. Once again, our spotters and loaders are doing a good job of cleaning the bar between each attempt for these lifters. One of the things we talk about in powerlifting is the deadlift is kind of the decision-making lift. Obviously, it's your last lift of your three, but a lot of people will spend a lot of time on increasing their deadlift and creating a good deadlift because you can make a lot of progress in terms of placements, in terms of onto the podium or first place with a big deadlift, excuse me. And so, for example, if you have a couple of lifters at 600 kilos and another lifter at 540 or 550, if that third person has a big deadlift, they can make up that ground in a very short space of time. And so you'll hear some people who are big deadlifters say, as long as I can stay close during squat and bench, then I have a shot during deadlift. Riley up next with 290, another 20-kilo jump for this lifter.
Ours ready, Riley, 290 kilos.
Riley coming out looking at 290 on the bar. Easy second for Riley. Nicely done. You notice a lot of the lifters, once they're finished their deadlift, will snap their belts loose. Those are SPD belts primarily, and they have a unique patented belt structure that allows the belt to move variably along your waist in terms of tightness. And so the first thing these lifters will do is pop the belt attachment once they are successful on their deadlift. Ryan at 275.
Ryan's got 275.
This is a repeat of his second, which he did not take. He timed out on his second at 275. The weight has just stayed at 275, so I believe this is a placeholder for him. He was successful on his opener at 260.
3 white lights, 5 on 1. Here comes Camille.
Rye is almost timed out here, and we will move on.
She hails from Quebec.
Thomas next at 275 as well. A 20-kilo jump for
The
him.
bar is ready for Thomas to tap.
Just over 600 pounds. We are waiting for Thomas to come out.
Bar is ready for Ella, 175 kilos. After Thomas comes Robin, then Steven. Bar's ready on one.
I believe Thomas timed out as well. So we have a couple of our deadlifters timing out. On third deadlifts here, Robin has 275 on the bar as well. We are waiting for Robin to come out.
185 kilos for Hope, 275 kilos for Robin.
Crowd's getting excited.
Allez, Robin.
This will move Robin up 3 places momentarily. Looks like he's going to get this. No. Just lost his grip at the end. No lift for Robin. Steven moving up to 277 and a half, a 10-kilo jump for him. We are now seeing a lot of movement amongst the different positions on our leaderboard for our 105 juniors. We will update you after this flight, but we have a couple of 105s in the second flight as well. So it will not be final. There will be another, I think, 3 or 4 105s in the second flight. Steven coming out with 277.5, a 10-kilo jump over his second. His second was pretty smooth. I don't think he had any issues. Let's see how he does on his third. Oh, yeah. It's getting there. Nicely done. Good lift for Steven. 3 white lights.
Samuel, 277 and a half kilos. Bar's ready on.
Samuel's up next. Samuel is making a 52.5-kilo jump. Samuel's taking an interesting approach to his day. He put a placeholder in on squats, passed on his next 2, had a good bench session, 2 out of 3, and he's been making 50-kilo jumps on his deadlift, and he is successful, jumping all the way from 175 to 277.5 from his first to his third deadlift. A little bit unconventional approach, but it seems to have worked for him. Nico's up next at 285, jumping 15 kilos from his second attempt. Nico is currently in first place, but again, as I said, we have a few 105s in our second flight that will have something to say about that. Can he lock it out? Let's see. Let's see what the referees have to say. Yep, good lift for Nico at 285.
Here comes Benjamin and his number 1 fan.
Benjamin, 287.5, 15-kilo jump.
Benjamin.
We are getting close to the end of our first flight here for deadlifts. Benjamin with a nice third. He's happy with that. Good lift. Jared jumping 15Ks to 290. This would move him up one place. Jared's looking at the clock, making sure he's leaving himself enough time.
Give her a round of applause.
It was moving nicely up until he got past his knees, and then he kind of got stuck. No lift for Jared. Chris Henderson attempting 300 kilos on the bar. It's a 20-kilo jump, 660 pounds.
All right, Chris Henderson.
This will move him into a tie for first place momentarily.
Total 737.5 kilos.
So we will have Nico and Chris at the top in a tie if Chris makes this lift. Chris has had a great day.
He will win on body weight by 1 kilo. Give him a big round of applause.
There we go.
He's pulling for the win on body weight. He's pulling for the win on body weight.
Chris checking the clock.
Double overhand hook whip. Sumo pull. Pulling for the win on body weight.
He's getting there. He's getting there. Man, he's working those legs. Oh.
Give him a big
Yep.
round of applause.
Just lost his grip at the top. No lift. Riley pulling 305 for his final attempt.
No more changes to your openers.
I believe that might be our last lifter in this flight. And then we will move on to our second flight, which is a combination of 120s and 105s.
Riley.
Let's get paint on me, come on!
Riley with a 15-kilo jump to 305 for his third deadlift. This will move him. Actually, it won't move him out of fifth place, but it will move him within 2.5 kilos of third place.
White, black, silver.
The lift is good.
Riley coming out.
Hey, wake up out there. Riley's up here.
Riley telling the crowd to wake up.
He's looking for 7:15 total. Give him a round of applause. Go on, Riley.
Looks like he might have. Oh, no. We've had a few lifters losing their grip here at the top on these last deadlifts. That's to be expected occasionally when people are pulling 600-700 pounds.
Let's go to our next flight, platform 2. Starting off with Nathan.
Thank you.
And Ethan.
All right, Helen just, she just won that on body weight. That pull gave Helen a tie for first, but the win on body weight.
back. Just took a moment here. We had something going on the side. Riley has timed out.
Let's go to our next flight.
We'll move on to our next deadlifter.
The bar's ready for what? Bar's ready for who? All right. 252.5
Waiting for our
kilos.
graphics to change.
Larry, Jeff, call Larry. Jeff, you got your phone? Call Larry. Larry Walsh. Larry Walsh, come to the scores table 2. Larry Walsh.
We seem to have an issue with the scoring table on platform 2, flight 2 here for the moment.
Bar's loaded for Ethan.
Ethan is up.
Good on platform 1. Here comes Caitlin Lawson and Amy Richardson. Bar's ready for Caitlin. Larry Walsh. Come to scores table 2. Nicky, can you get a hold of him?
Ethan attempting, I believe, 240. Excuse me, 255. I believe Ethan was attempting 255. I don't have any graphics in front of me at the moment, so I'm looking across the platforms trying to determine weights that are being pulled.
Bar is loaded for Malik with 260 kilos on platform 2.
Malik attempting 265 for his opener.
With this 3 white lights for Amy. Here comes Lola Hopper.
Malik with an easy opener.
167.5 kilos. Same weight for Ty Humphreys.
Ty also attempting 265 kilos for his opener as well.
Loaded for Lola Hopper. After Lola comes Bianca, then Anne-Marie, then Kayla. Come on, Ty.
Ty is one of our 120 junior competitors.
Up next, I believe, is Andrew. Up next is Ethan, then Nathan. Up next is
Good lift for Ty.
Nathan on 2. 3 lights on 2. Here comes Bianca, 182.5 kilos. Here comes Ethan, then Nathan.
Ethan Smith up next.
Bars ready, 5-4-1 and 5-4-2.
$265 on the bar for Ethan. Easy opener for Ethan.
Lights for Ethan. Load the bar up for Nathan. 270 kilos. 3 white lights on platform
Nathan
1 for Bianca.
attempting 270 on his opener.
Anne-Marie, then Kayla. Bars ready for Nathan.
Doing our best here to give you the numbers that they are lifting while looking across the platforms. 270 for Nathan for his opener.
And then Carson. Caden and Carson. Caden with the lower lot number. Same way. 3 white lights. Emery. How about Kayla at 190 kilos? And that's 3 white lights. All right, it's
We have 5 120 juniors. We're trying to figure out who's next.
277.5 kilos. Platform 2, bars ready. Lift is good for Kayla. Lights.
277.5 on the bar.
Three flags. 3 white lights.
Good lift. Malik is up
3 white lights on 2.
next.
5 bars loaded. Here comes Carson Taylor.
Carson Taylor. Sorry, Carson up next.
After Carson comes Yumi Tate. And Holloway. No, that's too many.
Carson's up next with 277.5 on the bar. Excuse me. Ethan Ackerman's first deadlift attempt was overturned to a no lift by the jury.
160 kilos. Away. The bar's ready for Yumi. Then Tate. First Yumi, then Tate. Line for 1, Tate with bars ready. 162.5 kilos. Then Amy, then Lola. Three wide lights for Yumi. Here comes Tate.
Tate's up next.
Ready for Tate. 292.5 kilos. Here it is. 3 lights for
Tate's our next
Amy Richardson, then
lifter.
Lola Harper.
I believe it's 280 kilos.
Tate Carpenter, up next is Holloway. Bars ready for Amy.
Ethan Ackerman's deadlift attempt number 1 was overturned to a good lift, excuse me. We're getting some information now. Good lift for Tate.
Here comes Holloway. 300 kilos.
Tate's lift at 292.5 was good.
Bars ready. Then we go to the top of the order.
Our next lifter is, I believe, Dylan, attempting 300 kilos.
Bars ready for Lola.
Good opening lift. Dylan with a successful lift at 300 for his opener.
And Lola's lift is not good. She got up and down the bar. Lola's got 2 lifts in. She's got 1 lift in the hopper. Bars ready, Bianca. 195 kilos.
We are reloading the platform here.
Bianca comes
Been
Kayla.
potentially a change attempt, an attempt change, excuse me. So we are reloading. Next up is Daniel with his second attempt. We are now starting second deadlift attempts, 267.5. This is a 15-kilo jump for Daniel.
267.5 kilos. Platform 2.
He's currently in third place. This will bump him up into second if he can get this. His first move very comfortably. And that one looks pretty good too. Good lift for Daniel. Ethan's up next, attempting 270. It is a 15-kilo jump for him. He spoke to Ethan over the break. He said he tweaked something, but he's going to be going full bore here, going all out. Ethan at 270 for his second. Nice second for Ethan. 3 whites.
3 white lights on 1, 3 white lights on 2. Here comes Caleb.
Ty also attempting 270. We are about halfway through our second attempts here on deadlifts for our second flight. Combination of 105s and 120s.
Bars ready.
We will be taking a break before the afternoon session after this. A longer break. And we will be back. Ty trying to lock it out here. Thinking he got stuck right at the top. He couldn't quite get his shoulders back. No lift. Ethan Smith, 275.
275 on.
A 10-kilo jump. So on platform 2, session 2 this afternoon, I will be live streaming for you. We will have the 84 females and the 84 plus females. Those should both be exciting competitions. We have some big names in those groups. And the winners of those 2 weight classes will be automatically chosen to go to Worlds. Ethan at 275. Good lift by Ethan. Malik jumping 20 kilos up to 280.
Malik got 2. Malik's got 280. Lily Mae's got 160. Bars ready for Malik. Bars ready for Lily. Bars ready, Lily.
Malik with a good second. Nathan's also attempting 290. A 20-kilo jump for Nathan. This would push him into third place temporarily. We are definitely going to be having a battle for first and second in the 105s and for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth in the 105. So there will be some jockeying going on here as we move into our third deadlifts. Nathan with 290, 20-kilo jump that pushes him into third place. Comfortably. Yep, very smooth. And a good lift. The audience has picked up. It's starting to fill up. I would say it's probably almost full. And as you can tell, there's more noise. People are getting excited as we get closer to the end of the 105s and 120 juniors. Caden attempting 297.5. A 20-kilo jump from his first to second. And that would bump him up into third place. A little bobble just above the knees, but 2-1, a good lift for Caden. The left side referee thought there was an up and down or some supporting on the thighs. Carson's up next, 297.5 as well, 20-kilo jump. Carson's in a battle for first place with Tate. They are currently tied.
Lower weight, he pulls first. We're going to get an 820 total, but they're both tied right now at 800. Carson is the heavier lifter. Bars ready for Lola Hopper.
Carson with a nice second.
Green lights for Carson. Here comes Tate. Tate needs to pull 312.5 kilos.
Carson pulled 20 kilos ahead, and Tate, who was tied with him at 800, has also chosen to go up 20 kilos, therefore tying him again. That would be a 312.5 total for Tate on his second attempt. 20-kilo jump, which would pull him back into a tie for first place.
Oh, we're only at seconds, David. All right, he needs to tie temporarily.
Tate with his second attempt at 312.5.
Double overhead hook grip sumo pull.
Good second for Tate. And we will be in a first place tie. Moving into our thirds. Yumi will be attempting 315 for his second, a 22.5 kilo jump. He is making a move to catch third place and move over fourth place. So moving into a tie for third place if he makes this lift. As I mentioned, we were going to have a battle for first and second. We also have a battle for third, fourth, and fifth going on right now. Big lift for Yumi. Dylan at 315, a 15-kilo jump. He's currently our 120 leader. That could change.
Bars ready for it. Hold on. 315 kilos. Here comes Bianca. Okay.
Easy second for Dylan. And we are on our thirds. We'll be starting our thirds with Ty with 270 on the bar.
All right, platform one. That lift by Bianca.
Coming down to the wire here. Third deadlifts, 120 and 105s, juniors.
But Kayla is looking to
We will know who our national champs are here shortly.
190 kilo total and the win on body weight. And they are in third attempts on platform one. Let's go, Ty. 270. Kayla's going for the win on body weight. Bars ready.
Ty trying to lock it out. I think he's got it this time. Oh, no. 2-1 no lift for Ty. Both side judges felt that there was some support on the thighs for the bar. Daniel's up next at 282.5, a 15-kilo jump.
Let's go to the next flight. Charlotte, Elika, and Madison. Ready for Charlotte? No, it's not Charlotte.
Daniels had a very successful deadlift session. Both his first and second moved really well. Let's now see how he does on his third.
It's Elika, right? Elika?
Well, a little bit of a bobble above the knees again. Kind of lost his position a bit, but he's got lots of strength, and he pulled it. Good lift for. Next up, Ethan Smith, 285, 10-kilo jump. This will not change his position.
All right, next plus Charlotte. Charlotte. Bars ready for Charlotte.
Oh. Oh. Ethan got it to his thighs, and then he had to drop the bar. Appears he might have tweaked something in his back. Hopefully nothing too serious. Ethan Ackerman up next, 285, 15-kilo jump.
Charlotte. Bars ready for Ethan, 285 on the bar. Coaching by Jeff, then Ethan Katie. Bars ready for Riyadh.
Here comes Ethan. Nicely done for his third. Nice lift, good way to finish. Malik at 292.5, 12.5-kilo jump. Malik about ready to pull. Got it to his knees, but no further. Too much on the day for his third. Caden has changed his third attempt. He now will be attempting 302.5. That would put him into a third place position ahead of Yumi if he can make this lift. So he's chosen a 5-kilo jump. He's currently tied with Yumi at 777.5. I assume Yumi has the advantage on body weight. Therefore, Caden is making a 5-kilo jump here to move into third. Here comes Caden.
Horse ready for Megan, 165.
Got it to his knees, no further. No lift for Caden. Nathan taking a 20-kilo jump, 310-kilo lift for his final lift. He is attempting to move into third place and give himself a bit of a cushion. We'll see how this goes. Should be a significant PR. And 32.5 kilo PR for Nathan if he makes this one. And put him solidly into third place. I think Nathan's got it. Good lift for Nathan. Pulls himself into third place. Carson with 312.5, a 15 kilo jump. Carson is attempting to give himself a sizable lead over Tate. They are battling for first place. Yumi has decreased his third deadlift from 325 to 320. Carson, with an 820 total, can take the lead with this lift. Make sure his belt is secured.
He's looking to pull in the first place. Give her a round of applause. Pull into the first place position.
Carson with a... Oh, and she's lost it again. Both times he's been able to pull his second and third attempts, and both times he's lost his grip right at the top. Yumi with a 5 kilo jump to 320. He's currently in fourth. This will not lift him or move him any higher, position-wise.
But first we got Yumi. Bars ready for Yumi.
Tate has increased his third deadlift from 327 to 338, an 11 kilo jump. My guess is that is for a record, a Canadian record. Can he hang on to it? I believe it's going to be a good lift. Yumi with a good lift, 2-1. And Tate here is going after the deadlift and total Canadian record for a 105K junior. So he is chipping the Canadian deadlift record by a half kilo. And this would also be a Canadian total record. And that is the reason for the jump. 26 kilo jump to 338.5. He has first place locked up, so he's decided to take a shot at the Canadian record.
He could have lowered it 24 kilos, but he's going to go for broke here. Oh, national record too? What is this? National record in total? All right, national record total. He wants all the numbers.
We now have a full house. We have standing room only. People are standing for Tate's third deadlift, a Canadian national record. He has already secured first place in the 105K juniors. Carson in second, Nathan in third. Here he comes.
Lift is not good on one. Come on, Tate!
Not too much. Looks like he tore the skin off his thumb. Still, Tate is your winner of your 105 junior class. Carson is second. We have a couple of lists left with our 120s. Dylan is going to make a 25.5 kilo jump to 340.5. He is attempting the Canadian and the Ontario deadlift record. He is chipping the Canadian record by a half kilo.
Bronze medal position. Oh, it's a different way. Always 120. All right, this will put him in first place.
Dylan is currently in first place. He's going after the Canadian record with this attempt.
Bars ready, give me a round of applause for Dylan. Deadlift national record attempt. Dylan, deadlift national record attempt. Let him hear you. Come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan. Let him hear you. Louder.
Just couldn't quite get it to lock out. Valiant effort. Just couldn't quite lock it out. And that wraps up our 105 and 120 juniors. Dylan is your champion in the 120 weight class, Daniel in second, and Ty in third. I'm going to be signing off. We're going to be coming back this afternoon with session 2, platform 2, our 84K and 84 plus K females. Don't miss it. It's going to be exciting.
Bars ready for Trinity. And Alexa, and Alexis. Bars ready, Alexa. Rewind lights. Here comes Alexis, 220 kilos. 77 and